Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Dear Man. And as usual, it's me, Vanel, and
Prissy.
awesome, awesome. And so last week, if you remember, we started a series on trying to figure out who is really, or who has been really good at this whole marriage institution. And so we've been looking at the previous generation, say our fathers, our grandfathers, and we've been looking at this current generation. And last week we looked at commitment. And we established that the older or the earlier generation, I don't like using the word older, so the earlier generation were better at commitment. And so, in like manner, today we want to continue, but this time looking at communication. So, so far it's 1-0 in favor of the earlier generation. And so today we're looking at who or which generation was better at communication or is better at communication. And so, Prissy, what's your take on this?
I'll say this generation is better with communication compared to the earlier ones. That is what I know.
Okay, why do you think this generation is better? I agree as well.
So,
I agree to that assertion as well. But why do you think this generation is better at communication?
so I because nowadays the marriage is based on love and not arrangement. They are friends and not people they see as a father figure in their lives, or it's easier for them to communicate like free flow of information without being afraid or scared that what are the repercussions of what I'm gonna say. Yeah, so it's it's basically what I've summarized. Like that is.
Yeah, I really agree to that assertion because it looked more like the reason people are. It looks more like this current generation has a lot more freedom as to whether they even want to get married or not. Previously, there were reasons why people were pushed into marriage. Sometimes, apart from all the economic reasons and all, sometimes for family name and so on and so forth, marriages were actually arranged. People needed to get married to continue in a certain line. But it seems this current generation feels very free. And so that there is not a situation where someone is forced against his or her will to go marry some other person. Usually it's a case of the ladies forced against their will or because their parents say so, and they get to marry someone because the person is well to do or what have you. And so it has always been the boss secretary scenario, or people see their husbands as a father figure instead of a companion. But it seems this current generation is able to, have you have people going to into relationships or marriage with people they really flow with, people they can have any type of conversation with, because it's not like the wife is here, the husband is here. It's more like the companionship bit really comes into it. So someone you can talk about anything with them. You are not afraid of what the reaction would be. As against previously, you had someone like a father figure. And you more like had to go and be a good girl around the person. Yeah, so I think I really agree with this assertion. But Prissy, don't you also think that the free flow of communication sometimes leads to spouses also able to tell their mind to, the other party? Don't you think so? Yeah. So because of that freedom to speak, then people also abuse it. That's what I mean to say. What do you think about that?
Yes, but if you there's free flow of information,
Yeah.
let out what you are thinking, and let doing it in an abusive way. And I feel that in terms of abuse, verbal abuse has been there even in the past. So I don't think that's really free flow of information. It's more like the partner's character or something. So flow rather helps us to be able to express more of ourselves, and they're not able to like keep things within, because sometimes when you hold a lot of things in, you express. So it's better to let it out a bit. So I guess the free flow is rather better.
Yeah, right. I really agree. And unfortunately, earlier generation, the baby boomers and all, unfortunately, this one is against you. And so, as it stands, it is 1-all draw between the current generation and the earlier generation. What this points to is that there is not necessarily a blanket cover to say that, oh, marriages in the past were better than marriages now. It's always good to put it in context. It's always good to delve into it to really figure out, what the positives are, what the negatives are, and so on and so forth. And so, as it stands now, it's a 1-all draw. When it comes to commitment, it goes to the earlier generation. When it comes to communication, it goes to the current generation. And so, we're going to wrap up for now. But next week, we're also going to pick another dimension and look at who is doing better, or who did better, or who will be doing better. And so before we go, kindly remember, if you've not yet followed our page, if you've not yet liked our Facebook page or followed us on Facebook or subscribed to our YouTube page, I think this generation can do better on that. So go ahead, subscribe, follow us. You are not charged anything for it. It's just a way to show your appreciation, a way to say that, yes, I think I like what you guys are doing, keep on doing it. And so, yeah, go ahead, go do that. At least this generation can do better on that score. So on that note, we bring today's session to an end. And as usual, we sign off by saying that always remember that no two relationships are the same. See you again next week. It's bye-bye for now. Thank you. Look at the sources of financial pressures. Now, we've identified two main sources of financial pressure. So the first one being internal, that is internally generated in the marriage, and the one that is without, the externally generated ones. What makes you two happy, and not allow the pressure of having to impress everyone have a toll on your marriage. For example, if what you can afford is a single room somewhere, what matters is that you are happy, basically, and not what will my friends say, what will my family say, what would everyone say, apart from what would my spouse say. Having kids is like having little bosses at home.
control what you do.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to control kids. Yes,
Yeah.
so it's not easy to handle them.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of pressure, especially if you are not that used to taking care of